Hey guys, what's up? I've prepared a little bit of a fun mess for us today, but it should be interesting. Um, we're here in creative mode, so we can move through this a little quicker. And this may look a little crazy, but by the end, it will all make perfect sense, I assure you. So we're gonna do redstone basics, and we're not gonna get into like T flip-flops or any kind of really advanced circuits. These are going to be basically what every component does and how that might be useful in your little farms. If you've been following along with any of these other farms, you've probably seen some of these in action, but we're going to explain a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes if you're not sure what things do. So first things first, let's get this out of the way. We're going to go, whoops, what did I do? Oh, now we're going to explode and die. Just kidding. I figured everybody, if you don't already know, would want to know a couple different ways to set off some TNT just for fun, annoy your friends. So if I can control my dude here. Oh my goodness. I have a couple. This one just powers the trapdoor, so it pops down so you can see it happen. This is powering into that block that's right below the TNT, and that's what's lighting it. So what we have there is we have a couple tripwire hooks, and we just tripped them. So here we go again. And one piece of string. So if you're unfamiliar with tripwire hooks, all you do is put the string right in between, and that connects them, and you can hear it activate, and you can hear it trip when you walk across it. Let's get rid of all this just so you can see what's going on. So you can see all I did was run a repeater just to make sure we had full strength. Pull it out of that block because the tripwire is powering that block. And then I was just running, and you could run your redstone right into there if you wanted to. I was simply using 2 repeaters because if you run your redstone, then you can see it doesn't go into the block. So you can do that, or you could even just do it like that if you were short. But alternatively, if you just want to do this manually, yeah, you can just run redstone. You can power it off this button. You can power it off a lever, anything that'll give you a signal. You could probably just throw a torch there, a redstone torch, and that's gonna activate that TNT. So along the lines of fun, let's go ahead and do droppers and dispensers. So actually, this one's dispenser, this one's a dropper. You can see dropper has a little half face. Dispenser looks surprised. Yeah. So the main difference, the dispenser is going to require a bow to create it, because it actually shoots things out. So you can see we put some arrows in there to visualize the difference. And you can see this one, if you need to, you could actually put armor in these, and it will, if you're standing in front of it, it'll put it directly onto your body. It's pretty cool. You can power it however you want. What I've rigged up back here is just an observer. So they see something happen, and they shoot a little signal out of the backside. We'll look at those more here in a second, but all I did was put a piston here, and a fun thing happens when you put 2 observers in front of each other. It creates kind of a little feedback loop, and it makes both their little signals on either end blink. And in this case, I was holding shift. Don't hold shift while you're trying to activate it. That's the wrong lever. So in this case, you can see, yeah. We're also activating the trapdoor. Pay no attention to that. Yeah. Another fun little thing to annoy your friends there. Oh, and it's still active. There we go. Yeah, it quit because I flipped that lever. There we go. All right. Anyway, so that's kind of the differences between those two guys. You can see this thing would be ideal if you just wanted to dispense items, say, into a water stream. And you can collect these back up when you're done, so you're not losing your arrows. Anyway, if you want to dispense items into a water stream, say to transport them somewhere, you'd want to just go with something like that. Let's move right into this little guy. So, since we've already been discussing the observers, all they do is observe anything changes in front of their block. The reason those didn't do anything is you need a solid block to transport that signal. Let's grab these real quick so you can see. Whoops, if I creative mode sometimes. Oh, and these are placed from behind for whatever reason. This guy you would place this way, this guy you would place this way. I don't know why they did that. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, if I put something in front, you can see super quick blink. So, you see that does nothing there. You have to put a piece of redstone on top. Anyway, you can see how fast that signal is though. Super fast. So that's why the bow and arrow was shooting so fast earlier. Anyway, like I said, you can't put it on slab, you can't put it on stair, you can't put it on glass, you can't put it on a leaf block. It's got to be something solid for that signal to go be transported up and down. So let's go ahead and get rid of some of this, just give ourselves a little more room to walk around here. Let's do hoppers next, since we're over here in this corner. So what I'm demonstrating here is the difference when you're trying to collect items. If I can get something thrown up there, you can see it disappears. It is sucked right down into here, along with anything that actually lands anywhere near this thing, really. It doesn't have to be actually on top of it, which is funny. But yeah, if you can, anything that might fall like these guys, it will suck it completely through a solid block. This guy, however, oh, it went in that one. If I can get it on top there. There we go. You can see it just hangs out. It won't, the hopper by itself will not suck it through, and it's through a solid block. You need a, it needs to be on a slab, and then you can see it pulls it right through. So that's just some of the basic differences there. You'll see, sometimes you'll see a farm where they'll, what I did here was actually just, you have to put down a little rail, and should I grab one of those real quick? Anyway, you gotta put down a rail, and then you put your hopper minecart right on top of it. And actually, you can put shift click that, put that right on there, and that's a good way to get something through a block and then into your hopper system. You just got to use one of those to pull it through that first block, and then you're set and ready to go. What are you for? Oh, I just made that one to demonstrate better how quickly that thing, the signal is on that. So there's a couple different devices that will extend that signal out. All right, what is next? Real quick, I'm going to try to show the difference. You can see this, there's a stone button and a wood button. The stone button is about a 1 second, and the wood button is about a 2 second. Anyway, it's, when you're going in and out of doors, it's a little more obvious. If you hit a button and then you try to walk through the door will close on you super fast. We'll go into doors a little bit more here in a second. Usually don't use, usually pressure plates are good, but if you're making something that you don't want monsters coming through, then buttons are better generally. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how to power a block. So you can set your lever right next to a light. So in that case, the lever is powering this block, and that block is feeding this block. You can place things directly on top, You can run power into the bottom of these. You can power, so I set this up to say this repeater is powering this block. This is hard powering this block, which is soft powering this block and this block, which is why you get those. So you can see this little guy is only soft powering. He's actually hard powering this block, but it's only sending a soft power. So this repeater sends a hard power into there. That just that's a good thing to know in case you're doing like pistons also. Yeah, just wanted to show the difference there. We do those guys. A little more with the rail real quick. So you can see I've got a redstone torch, which is hard powering this block, and that is in turn soft powering that rail there. And then I've got a lever down here to turn it on this end. That is hard powering this block, which is soft powering this block. And this is good for picking things up if this were a hopper minecart. You can see we've got a solid block here. It's got to be something solid for the minecart to change directions when it's coming in. So that's just a good thing to keep in mind. Let's see, what have we not done? You can use buttons to power like trapdoors, you can power gates. For whatever reason they're directional. So even though it's powering the whole block, for whatever reason it only powers whatever item is on the side of it. Just thought that was kind of an interesting thing worth pointing out. So here's our daylight sensor. See, if you right click on it, it turns to a night sensor. So starting around, I don't know, somewhere over there, whatever time that is, through this midday time, this little guy will put out 14, signal of 14, which is all the way over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. So I've set these sensors out just so you guys can keep an eye on them now while we're talking about other things, but this one's set at around 10, and this one's at 10. That one's at 5. This one's at 10. This one's at... This one's at 13. That one's at 15. Anyway, that one will be on a lot longer. These will obviously be on almost all the time. But that's just a good... So you can set up a clock that kind of tell you what time of day it is. And over here we've got a clock that will tell you when it's time to go to bed. So I'll change the sun here in a minute, but so this one you can see is set to nighttime. So this will do the same thing as far as signal strength, but the important thing to know is when it's time to go to bed, it will be at a 4. So this light will come on at a 1. This light will come on at a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 for that one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that one will come on. So we are going to do backwards. Time set 1200, and now you can see almost immediately that one will come on. And then here in a second, you can see we've got a signal strength of 1. That will come out all the sides. So there, signal strength of 2 now. And you can see we can't go to bed yet. It's not nighttime. Signal strength of 3. Still can't go to bed. And one more, and boom, we can go to bed. So that's just a fun little project if you would like. I've actually got a lot more complicated clock on my other world that's floating up in the sky, but just kind of a fun little project. Let's see. So now we've got our chest here. This thing will tell you. This is a comparator. That's what we're doing. Comparators. So what it does is it tells you what's going on in the block behind it. So it tells you if there's something in the chest, it sends out a signal strength of 1. If there's anything in the chest, you get 1. If, however, you were to fill up the whole top row like solid, full stacks, and then go on to the next row, then you will get a signal strength of 5. Oh, well, that's 6. Sorry. 6. One whole row is 5. That's it. Yeah. So you can see it stops right there. You can kind of tell the animation just kind of runs out. So as soon as you hit that second row, then you start up to 6. So if you get all of it full, it's 14 or 15. I don't remember exactly. But most of the time you just want to know if something's in the chest or not. You don't want to have big old long strings of redstone. So these are cool for making like a bulk item storage silo kind of a deal. So you guys probably already know you can put a trapdoor down and it will open a door, right? So this is a heavy weighted pressure plate. This is a light weighted pressure plate, stone and wood. What's funny is when I throw something onto it, you would think that the heavy weighted pressure plate would be the one that didn't go off with the item, but for whatever reason, the stone pressure plate is the one you want to use if for some reason you don't want items setting off your trapdoors. Of course, you can do getting to crawling mode this way. Trap people in under your iron trapdoors. So you can see anyway. Iron. You have to use a lever or a button or a pressure plate. So I wanted to use, before I forget, I wanted to use the little comparator chest and just do something kind of fun. So here's my secret door area. And the way you activate it is you just take the button out of the chest there and boom. You got this fun little door here. And I will show you. It's just a couple sticky pistons. You got our comparator coming out of the chest, and a repeater running into this block. That can be further away if you want to. We got a repeater running into this block with the dot of redstone, and that will power both of those. Anyway, we had to have the repeater back here because we only got the one signal coming out of there. So here's another fun little bit of info about these pressure plates. You can see that only lit that up 1. Again, same signal strength. But on the wood, you get a full signal. And then of course with the stone, you get nothing. Which I just thought that was interesting. I don't know. Just curious. Nope, nothing. We get everything. I think that's all of it. Hopefully you learned something here today. If I got anything wrong in the comments, let me know. But we pretty much visually verified everything. There's probably lots that I missed though, so if you have any fun tips for me or for anyone else, just pop them in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys.